quick, Brittany. So thank you for coming, Brittany, for being on today. And then very well. And the thing is, it's a new era. This is not a new era. This is challenges of dating. Like my niece, she's in her 30s now. Can I say that, Brittany?
Yeah, I'm in my 30s.
It's too late. Tell them, right? Good black. Hey, y'all. Good black. Don't cry. So, and Brittany, so what are some of the challenges? Like now, to me, you guys are in the fuckboy generation. And the fuckboy generation kind of, it's us. We kind of messed it up because we the training young lads after. So our pops gave us game and told us how to treat women. But then I think we got selfish. And so what are some of the challenges as a person of your age right now?
Well, let me get my list out because
so
many challenges. Where do I begin? First, let's start with the fact that I'll be fair. The men have so many options in our generation. And I know that there were still beautiful women when you guys were coming up and dating, but now it just seems like back then women might have held themselves to a higher standard. Now the women is throwing it out there for a bag and a shoe. So it's just so many options for men. That's number one. So if you have a higher list or you expect more, have higher expectations, they're not waiting around to get with you because it's like, sis over here has no expectations. I'm just go this way. Why would I wait? Yeah. Number two, these men think that they are the prize now. For some reason, they think that we are supposed to chase them and they no longer know how to date. I cannot tell you how many times a man has approached me, got my number, text and say, let's hang out. I want to take you on a date. And then they ask me, where do I want to go? And I'm just like, well, I didn't invite me to the date. So you should, figure this out. It's so many different things, but those would be the major things. And then in my age group, women of my age are now dating for, marriage because we are thinking about families and children if we don't already have them. And the men, my generation, they're not getting married at all. So I don't want to say it all, but a high number are not interested in marriage at all.
So hold up. Before we go to that, like Brittany's young, I got another special guest. Can we, producer Sammy Jammy? Can you bring in Miss Monique Newkirk? Because we got the younger, and then we got Monique, who's not of our age yet, but she's right behind me.
Old?
No. Where's Monique? Can we get a picture? Is Monique camera not working?
Monique is up.
Monique camera not working?
No,
maybe it's me.
I see a picture. See a picture. Yeah.
She made me now.
Well, I got a question for Brittany.
Yes.
Brittany, let me ask you a question. You say that, men feel today that they want the woman to chase them, right? Do you feel like women have messed the game up for themselves, like you said, by basically you're trying to keep a type of conservativeness. You want to be courted. You want to be dated out. You want to be treated right. And then you got Sarah down the block that's going to basically drop it like it's hot on the first date. That's what you're saying you're competing against?
Absolutely. That's exactly what you're competing against. And I have a lot of male friends that I'm just friendly with, and they openly tell you what girls will do for minimal things. So for them, it's like, if I can just get away with buying a girl a shoe and I don't have to deal with a relationship and all of that because she's here for one thing and I'm here for one thing, it works. So women like us are left alone and single because people don't want to put in the work, or men don't want to put in the work.
All right. Do you think a lot of women's standards are a little bit too high today?
Nope, and that's the problem. I've been told that my standards are too high, but I feel like Black women are always expected to lower their standards to get a man. And why do we have to do that? Men need to raise the bar and reach our standards. Like, we can't keep lowering our buck for you to be a part of our life. No, because the reality is we are more independent. We are more educated. So we don't need men. We want men. So to want a man, I need you to meet me at where I'm supposed to be. If I needed a man, maybe I would lower my standards, but I don't need you. I want you.
Oh, okay. So if the man doesn't meet like you, how many standards you got?
Well, that was my list. My standards list is a little bit longer. Let me get that.
So maybe the standards list is too long, Brittany. Is it too much?
I'm being facetious. My standards list is not that long. I feel like it's very acceptable. And there are men that meet it, but then you have to throw in attraction and everything else with that as well.
Brittany, what are some of the deal breakers?
Good question. I had this conversation with a good friend of Dee's recently. A deal breaker for me Didi, close your ears. Mom, close your ears. Bad
Oh, damn it. Oh, God damn it.
sex is a deal breaker. I do need a man that has a level of exposure or education. Family background is a deal breaker for me. And you have to make my salary or more. That's all.
Now expand on the family expound on the family background and then go to the salary thing.
I live in Baltimore, for those of you who don't know. So here you have crack. I was talking about the crack era a little earlier. It hit Baltimore hard. A lot of these men in Baltimore do not have mothers or fathers in their lives. You know, they were raised in the system. And that really affects how they deal with people in life. So for me, I've been there, done that, dated several people with that background, and I know that I need someone who matches my background, where I come from a family-oriented background, because we just see things differently.
Got you. Now, as far as your salary is concerned, he needs to match your salary.
Match it. I never said that he had to completely be in some unrealistic realm of a salary, but I just feel like if we're not on an even playing field, we can't grow together. So I need you to at least be where I'm at when you come into the game.
Well, let me ask you a question. If you see do you believe that it's your responsibility as a woman in the relationship to match his salary as well? You know what I mean? Because you said as long as it's
no.
There's no
men, you know, salary for men is just like, you know, it's nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, when you date a woman, it's like the salary is like kind of down.
Because you know what it is? Women, we offer beauty, right? We offer a lot of different things. Men, you could get in the game with money. You could be the ugliest man in the world. You got the right type of money, things gonna happen for you. So it's a little different to me. Double standard.
Biggie said it best. I'm ugly. However, I stay Gucci down to the socks.
Wait, but Brittany, now does that sound a little pretentious, a little superficial in that regard? I mean, so money seems to be the X factor, right? It'll compensate for certain things, because if it weighs that much, and I understand what I think is necessary is obviously that a person can hold their own, that they could be independent, and like you said, they could grow together. But what if the person just actually could be a teacher and not make what you make?
I'm not interested.
Wow. Let me
tell you why. There's two reasons. Number one, you have to throw ego in there. Ego's going to come up at some point. If your woman is making so much more than you, at some point that could affect some men. And it may be unconsciously, but I do think it can throw a wrench in the relationship to some extent. If I want to go on an elaborate vacation because my salary affords me to do this, but I want to do it with you, and you're like, well, I don't have that much money right now, that's an issue. You know what I mean? So it's more so of a lifestyle. If I decide that when we do get married, you know what, let me stay home for the first year and you continue to work, but if you're making $20,000 less than I made, you can't support our family. So that's where it comes into play. I need you to meet me where I am, because I've afforded myself a particular lifestyle, and I want to live that with a man as well. But I'm not footing the bill for that man, so therefore he needs to meet me on the same playing field.
I want to make sure Monique can chime in on this. Monique is my dear good friend, like a little sister to me. And Monique, you're a little older than Brittany. What are some of the challenges? They see Mo say, I made you seem good. You made a little older. I know your age, but I ain't gonna say. What are some of the challenges you see with a woman of your age with some of these guys out here now?
So some of the challenges are surprisingly, well, I'm 39. I'm not ashamed to say.
Oh, see, I didn't say it. See, good black don't crack. Good black don't crack.
I'm okay. It's a little intimidating, a little weird to like kind of date, because I still consider myself to be young. And some folks in my age group are already married and divorced. So that's a little weird for me, because I don't have any kids. I've never been married just yet. So that's like still a little weird for me. And I'm finding that I have a few non-negotiables, deal breakers, but I'm very flexible, very easygoing. A lot of men are really broken, and it's having like big impacts like on the relationship. Like after you peel the layers of the onion and like these people are like broken into pieces, it like can ruin a relationship. So that's one of the main things for me. People need to like take care of their mental health. I never even realized until I got to a certain age that men have mommy issues, daddy issues, outside issues, work issues, like all these self-esteem issues, and they have huge impacts on the relationship. So that's one of like the struggles for me.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I want to say something about, go back to what something Brittany said. Brittany said that basically, a man has to meet her criteria, and then certain things are deal breakers or whatever. Now, if you meet a man, because we want to look at this from two sides of the coin. If you meet a man that has all those requirements, because I remember a long, long time ago when I was young, and I was young, ambitious, had a good job, good career. The thing is, men have the ability to be able to pick and choose. So when they meet all those criteria, they may say, I don't have to come on to your ship. I don't have to board your ship because I can get onto any ship. You know what I'm saying? And, you know what I mean? Because it goes both ways. So the thing is, a guy can meet your criteria, but he may be him being in that position he has all the power. He's basically saying, hey, I know I'm a commodity. I know I'm a catch. So the bottom line is that's the guy that is going to be not too faithful. He's going to be doing his thing.
The men could be sleeping on a mama couch and they still not going to be faithful. So
I'm talking about just the guy that meets your criteria. Like if he's got all this stuff going on, you got to realize that he's going to be able to have the pick of the litter. You know what I'm saying?
So should I be afraid of that? Or
no. I'm just saying it's from both ways. It goes both ways. So the thing is, if he meets all those criteria, he's got all those things going on. Men that have all those things going on, they know they have it going on. So they're going to be able to say, well, I don't have to pick you. I can pick 15 things. If you don't abide by my rules, I'm going to go on and go down to Sarah's house. You know what I mean?
But she did start by saying that one of her issues is that men have too many options. So that kind of supports that.
That's true. Not all men. Not all.
No matter where they lie on my list, all men have options because there are a lot of women, and I don't want to use the word desperate, but they are seeking relationships, they are seeking marriage, they are seeking family, so they're going to accept a lot. So all men have options regardless where you fall financially.
I agree with that. I think all men do have certain options, but I still always think there's levels to everything. Like if we're talking just about your level, like if that guy has all those criteria, that guy's going to be harder to bag to me. To me, I always, when I would look for a relationship,
I don't need to bag him.
I'm just making a statement, Brittany. I'm just making a statement.
But Brittany, I think what could happen though, you could potentially miss out on somebody that was great. I'll just share something. There was a gentleman I knew of who started, and he couldn't figure out what he wanted to do in college, and he wound up working at a mattress place selling beds, and his wife got with him. That same gentleman is one of the most successful attorneys in the history of the United States now, and is probably about $200,000 short of being a billionaire. They were in college. Okay. Billionaire, almost a billionaire.
I could have done that in my 20s. I agree. In your 20s, you are not as picky because you are still trying to figure out your life yourself. But as we know, women sometimes mature a little, and I won't say men that I know in my age haven't matured and figured out their careers, but I'm at a different part in my life. So when I was in my 20s, you could preach that story to me all day long. But I'm older now, and I'm at a particular part in my life where I want to start my life. Men are very notorious for not starting relationships until they have everything else in line. So if I'm meeting a man that's still trying to figure out what he wants to do, that's going to hold up where I am in life because I want to start a family. But you're saying, oh no, I want to get my career kicked off this 5-6 years down the line. Then you're ready to start a relationship, and I'm old and dried up.
But see, Brittany, it sounds like you guys are more like opponents. Like this is us against them. That's what it sounds like. And I do commend you on your standard. One thing, it sounds like much like your uncle, nobody has to guess where you stand. And that's very, very good. That's noble, because I agree with you, because it's gonna go the way you want it to go. I'm just saying, I can't tell you how many men I meet, even in New York, that tell me, oh, I wish I could be with Brittany. Oh, I wish I could be with Brittany. And they sitting there working at a gas station and they know they have no shot. So we have to.
One thing Brittany better never bring in this house again is a goddamn dude to have braids.
Shut up.
Motherfucking dude from my house with some goddamn braids. I'm going to send his ass back. Don't bring that motherfucker down.
Let me tell you, Calvin and Robin, that was a deal that I took my standard list and threw it in the trash and said, well, let me give it a shot. And it was the worst decision of my life. So baby,
because it was the braids. Your uncle said the braids. You can't.
I will never do that again. So I learned from lowering my standards, and I'm not interested in doing that because I've tried that. If I understand that, then I could say yes, but I've been there. So, but
Brittany, at the same time, if he does make an inordinate amount of money, he still has to make sure that there are other things, that other checks and balances too. He's got to have integrity. He's got to be a good guy, right? And all those other things.
Don't ask me for my
deal breaker, the deal breaker, right? Right, I got you.
Deal breaker. I said it. Everybody, even the comments, oh, the money. No, all y'all heard was money. I said other stuff too. Well, give me some credit here.
Hey, listen.
So a guy with potential, or he's on his way up. That's not at your place at that time. So you're not willing to ride up.
What that potential looks like? Is he already in the pathway of his career?
Yeah, they basically he has to go through some courses. He's in the middle of schooling. You sit down, you go on a date with him. He's telling you, this is what I'm trying to get to. This is what my future looks like, and he's actually taking the course to get there. That's not.
Or do you need a finished product?
It depends on what I would prefer the finished product, but
yeah, he's not talking. He's actually doing it. You need him, and he's doing it. He's on his way.
It depends. Again, what is on his way look like? Has he not gotten his foot in the door yet? Then that's too much growth. I'm not willing to sit through. If he's gotten his foot in the door, because my foot is in the door. I'm in education. I decided this career at 29. I did a complete career shift at 29, and I went back to school. I have my bachelor's. I'm going back for my master's. I'll be done that next year. So to me, I'm still building, yes, but I can't meet someone that's like, yeah, I'm still trying to get my bachelor's degree. We don't equally yoke. Not at 31. At 25, that made sense. At 31, that doesn't make sense for my life anymore. And I think that's the problem why it works for some people, but after 30, relationships don't work if you're not equally yoked mentally, spiritually, financially. All that stuff is important. And we try to, even physically, you have to be equally yoked for stuff to work.